Yeah, last year was, a really strong year. We performed outstanding at ODACs and ran really well at regionals, and 3 of our top 4 were sophomores last year. All those sophomores will be juniors, so hopefully they'll be a little bit more, more mature and things like that. And so hopefully we can build on our success from last year and hopefully be even better this year. Yeah, and a lot of our returners coming out of high school, Kaylee, not so much Mackenzie, but Kaylee, Zanny, Lauren Johnson, all of them were very young and very underdeveloped runners coming out of high school. So, they're just coming into their own now, even though Zanny's a senior, she's still been developing every year. Lauren especially, Kaylee as well. So, we're hoping with the development they've taken through the last few years. Your junior year is typically where you see a big jump for some athletes, and we saw that in our sophomore year. So we're hoping, that was just kind of the cusp of their improvement. We're losing a big loss with Stephanie Breen graduating. So the big goal with recruiting this past year was to kind of fill in her spot, so we don't hopefully lose a beat, so we can let the development of the student athlete take over for our success and improvement. So we actually brought in Scarlett Babin from Atlee High School, and she's going to be, a very good runner, and we're hoping she can step in and do essentially what Stephanie did as a senior, maybe as a freshman. Right, we'll be mainly juniors on this squad. So we bring in another freshman from Glen Allen High School who could have an impact in the top 7. Then there's a couple more that could develop into, good cross-country runners, a few mid-distance runners that are kind of starting to progress and build their mileage and things like that, and a couple other runners that might have just only run cross-country in high school just due to the nature of their small school. So we're hoping, some of those kids can develop by the time they're juniors, and when these juniors graduate, hopefully, we can build on that and really not have a down year or a rebuilding year in 2 years. Yeah, so our schedule is really, last year was the first time we had this layout, and it's a mirror image this year essentially. So the layout of our schedule really helps us run well at the end of the year. So this year what we'll do is we'll have our preview meet as we typically do, a couple smaller meets at Elkton, and we'll really start the season at that NCAA pre-national meet so we can get full exposure to the national course, since hopefully this year we have 2 teams there, being able to see that. And then 3 weeks later we'll actually go to a really big meet at Princeton, which is typically 95% Division I or Division II competition. So go there, all about running fast, and essentially we want to throw them in that race so they can get national type exposure and national type competition. Right, when you talk about women's cross country, I think you're always going to have W&L in the mix. They had a lot of talented freshmen on their team last year that didn't perform as well as I think I expected, I'm sure as well as they expected, so I think they'll be pretty tough. I know they brought in some pretty good freshmen, some similar freshmen to what we're bringing in, so they're going to be pretty tough. Eastern Mennonite University, I think, returns everybody outside of one runner of their top 7, and I know they brought in another really talented girl from Ohio, so I know they're going to be pretty tough. So those are the 2 teams that I really see battling with us for the league title and then on at the regional level as well.